Chapter 2219, Liu Karen vs. Wood 2. Drone technology wasn't exactly an uncommon thing. They too possessed bird-type drones for self-destruction attacks. Thus, Wood wasn't overly surprised, merely heightening his vigilance in secret. Caw, caw. The crows gathered, circling in the sky, swiftly forming an enormous circular formation. The sight was eerie. The Wulwan Empire soldiers immediately raised their weapons skyward and began firing wildly. Sights locked onto individual crows, then activated auto-tracking to fire laser bullets. In an instant, the thousands of crows abruptly scattered, then plunged like black arrows toward the military formation where Wood stood. Whoosh! 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 Lasers rained down like rain flowing upstream, pinpointing each crow's position. Yet now, chaotic data streams flickered within the crow's eyes. Within their vision, every lizard soldier and the trajectory of their laser weapons were equally locked. Their movements appeared blindingly fast. Yet as the laser weapons neared impact, their bodies shifted positions in an instant, their speed doubling with astonishing agility. The dense barrage of laser bullets missed entirely, not a single shot striking them. Yet the flock's descent accelerated even further. The distance between them quickly closed to under 1,000 meters. At that moment, the crows launched their assault. They formed an odd formation in the sky, resembling a circular QR code. Suddenly, powerful energy beams erupted from their pitch-black eyes, hurtling straight toward the military formation on the ground. The lizard-men soldiers' attacks seemed laughably childish compared to the crows' onslaught. The crows' strikes were faster and their destructive force far more terrifying. Thousands of attacks merged into a terrifying laser storm, crashing down in an instant. The sheer terror of its energy level caused even Wood within the military formation to widen his pupils in shock. These were certainly no ordinary drones. Nor were they mechanical life forms of the Tsanyuan tribe. Instead, they were Liu Karen's own unique mechanical legion, forged by fusing the most advanced technologies of both the Tsanyuan tribe and humanity. Each was forged from the latest E-metal alloy, second only to Zhang Yi's demon god armor in material quality. Their structural strength and weapon destructive power exceeded those of armed mechanical life forms by over threefold. Moreover, they combined compact size, high flight speed, and versatile capabilities like submersion and subterranean movement. At this moment, they served as extensions of Liu Karen's senses and limbs. On the battlefield, they even surpassed the snow owls in destructive power. Boom! Only when the dense hail of lasers struck the military formation, instantly reducing thousands of lizard-men soldiers and numerous mechanical war beasts to dust, did they realize how terrifying these seemingly small crow-like fighters truly were. Aya! Fire! Shoot down those monstrous birds in the sky. Deploy armed ships. Deploy drones. Bring them down. On the Wulwan Empire's side, soldiers sensing danger immediately mobilized massive forces to counter them. Yet, under the gaping chasm of technological superiority, their struggles proved utterly futile. Weapons couldn't match the flock's speed, firing only into empty air. Limited computational power allowed the flock to predict their attack trajectories in advance. Countless drones and combat airships took to the skies, attempting aerial combat against the flock. But the speed disparity was too great. Chaotic laser weapons formed dense nets across the sky, yet each crow within the flock deftly slipped through the gaps, gliding leisurely past the laser grids. This was a completely different level of mechanical warfare. In that moment, the Wulwan Empire's forces truly grasped the advanced civilization they were facing. Faced with such a gap in civilization, their vaunted technological weapons and mighty armies proved utterly worthless. Caw! The crows emitted piercing screeches, sending waves of sound crashing downward. The noise entered the ears of the Wulwan Empire soldiers, instantly causing their brains to roar. This was the assault of sonic weapons, capable of penetrating bodies, striking vital organs, and disrupting cognitive function. The Crows' intervention in the battle began shifting the tide of this battlefield in favor of the human coalition forces. Moreover, the Mechanical Legion and the Huashu Kingdom coalition forces, though deprived of the protection of the colossal mechanical life form, seized the opportunity to charge into the fray. Even the colossal mechanical life form, collapsed in the distance and temporarily immobilized, unleashed relentless firepower. Its hundreds of massive energy cannons pounded the Wulwan Empire's formations. Wood's gaze darkened. These crows are formidable. Facing overwhelming technological and military inferiority, the only hope to salvage this defeat now lay with high-level mutant. Wood drew a deep breath, aimed at the crow swarm in the sky, and suddenly spat out two characters. Shatter. Two massive black characters burst from his mouth, swelling to mountain-like proportions as they shot skyward. The power of the rules manifested, inescapable, an almost certain strike. The characters swept across, crashing violently into the massive flock of crows. Instantly, hundreds of crows were struck by the characters, their bodies twisting and deforming in an instant. But this time, Wood's expression changed as well. A sharp buzz echoed in his mind, as if an electric current surged from his left brain to his right, then back again, repeating in a relentless cycle. His head felt like it was tearing apart. What the hell are these things? Clutching his head, Wood forced himself to endure the excruciating pain and looked up at the sky in utter shock. When the power of the word spirits encountered substances with excessively high material properties, attempting to alter their form within the physical world could backfire and consume the caster. Those crows, seemingly mere drones, were far from ordinary. High above, in the rear command center, Lou Karen sat within the command room, sensing that over 200 crows had lost control. Yet she showed no anger. Instead, a sly smile curved her lips. Lou Karen casually pulled a chocolate bar from her pocket and popped it into her mouth. Mechanical flying crows crafted from e-metal combined with my most exquisite techniques, destroying such combat machines isn't so easy, you know. Chapter 2220, Lou Karen vs. Wood 3. E-metal was arguably the strongest alloy humanity could currently forge. Setting aside its toughness, its hardness level alone surpassed diamond by 100-fold. Wood had destroyed over 200 mechanical flying ravens in one breath, a feat that clearly demanded immense energy expenditure. Lou Karen didn't let Wood's weakened state go unpunished. On this battlefield, those 3,000+ mechanical crows served as her eyes and ears. Nothing could escape her notice. Her hands flew across the control panel. Instantly, a swarm of mechanical crows cawed loudly as they dove downward. Equipped with powerful laser weapon emitters in their eyes and beaks, they unleashed a barrage of fire upon Wood's location. The mechanical crows operated with precise division of labor. Two other units charged directly at Wood's military formation from the left and right flanks, targeting his physical body. Wood clutched his head, not yet completely unconscious. But he now understood these crows could no longer be dealt with using conventional methods. He raised one hand toward the sky, Guardian. Characters surged skyward, coalescing into a colossal, mountain-like black wall. Boom! Laser weapons slammed into the wall, quickly pockmarking it with holes, yet none struck Wood's physical form. Soon, however, Wood could no longer maintain his composure. For from both flanks of the battlefield, vast swarms of crows descended like black reapers. Their bodies transformed into black arrows within the raging winds. Their speed was so immense it caused the air to crackle and roar, stirring up storms in their wake. All Wulwan Empire soldiers and mechanical beasts attempting to block their path were sliced apart like sand-built puppets. Whether flesh or metal, anything that touched the mechanical crow's sharp beaks was instantly shattered. To the e-metal, flesh and steel were as soft as tofu, offering no resistance whatsoever. Thud. The sounds of lizard-men flesh exploding in mechanical war beasts detonating echoed incessantly, flesh flying everywhere, mechanical fragments dancing wildly. They couldn't hold back the swarm of mechanical ravens for even a moment. They could only scream in agony as two flocks of mechanical ravens attacked Wood from left and right. A sense of crisis instantly enveloped Wood. He realized the enemy had already gained a thorough understanding of his abilities. After all, throughout the entire battle, he hadn't even known where his opponents were. How could he possibly win a fight like this? Destroy thousands of terrifyingly powerful mechanical flying ravens? If that were the case, he'd likely be the first to die from his own ability backfiring. At this life-or-death moment, Wood shouted one word, Guardian. The talismanic energy coalesced into a massive hemispherical fortress, completely shielding his body. Boom! The crows showed no hesitation, crashing directly into the fortress. Soon, massive cracks appeared in the barrier, and it shattered. But Wood's figure had already vanished. Lou Karen's brow furrowed slightly. Through the crow's perspective, she saw a pitch-black hole appear in the earth. He escaped? Realizing the situation was dire, Wood couldn't afford to continue fighting the crows. He first extricated himself from the passive danger before formulating a counter-strategy. He dove underground, alarm bells ringing in his mind. Soon after, he received warnings from other silver armor generals, piecing together the sequence of events. His mood grew heavy. Such was the nature of battles between mutants. Once abilities were exposed, one plunged into a massive disadvantage. It was even possible to be counterattacked and killed by someone with a significantly lower ability index. And now, he had no clue who his enemy even was. Is she hiding among the crows, or controlling them from afar? Where exactly is she? Wood closed his eyes, traversing beneath the battlefield while mentally mapping the most likely hiding spots for the crow controller. Finally, his eyes snapped open as he identified the most probable hiding spot. That colossal mechanical life form. She dares not confront me directly, proof her physical combat prowess is lacking. My task now is to locate her core and eliminate it outright. Wood, possessing the power of word spirit, was indeed capable of such feats. Even when facing enemies with higher ability indices than his own, he could achieve underdog victories by sacrificing his own life force. As long as the opponent wasn't a mutant with overwhelming physical strength, he was confident he could grind them into mincemeat. Wood instantly formulated his battle plan and began stealthily moving toward the colossal mechanical life form. Lou Karen, a lollipop dangling from her mouth, showed no urgency about Wood's escape. Indeed, it was extremely difficult to kill a black chariot-level mutant intent on fleeing. However, they had long prepared countermeasures. This was the land of the lizard men. Escape? Where could you possibly flee? Abandoning your very home? Lou Karen showed no mercy, directing the Mechanical Legion and the Huashu Kingdom Alliance forces to launch a fierce assault. The crows swept through as if unopposed, diving from the skies like sharp arrows, instantly shredding the entire Wulwan Empire's military formation. With just 1,000 mechanical flying crows, the Wulwan Empire's defenses, comprising tens of thousands of soldiers and mechanized war beasts, collapsed like a house of cards, unable to withstand the onslaught for even an instant. It was nothing short of a devastating, overwhelming blow. Wood's ears were constantly bombarded with tense battle reports, but he couldn't go to help. He could only accelerate toward that colossal mechanical life form. Before long, he reached his intended destination. Pfft! The earth split open, revealing a modest hole from which Wood emerged. Lifting his head, he beheld the colossal, awe-inspiring supersized mechanical life form, a marvel of intricate mechanical engineering. He raised his head and opened his mouth. Decay. Ruin. Explode. Shatter. He spat out 4 words in one breath, staking everything on this strike. Sure enough, as the 8 characters shot skyward and struck the colossal mechanical entity, the fire-spewing mechanical beast abruptly halted its assault. Then, boom! Rusted mechanical parts shattered everywhere, and the main body erupted with a deafening crash. Flame shot skyward, limbs snapped apart, and the burning main body transformed into a colossal fireball hurtling violently toward the ground. A flicker of triumph crossed Wood's eyes. As long as he eliminated the one controlling the mechanical crows, this crisis would be completely resolved.